What if the only thing standing between you and your best life is a decision you have been postponing? What if your potential is not missing, but waiting for you to step forward? And what if this year is the moment you finally owe yourself the truth? Now let me start with a simple truth. Every single person listening has untapped potential. You carry dreams, goals, and ambitions that are still waiting to be realized. And here is the key point. You owe it to yourself to turn those dreams into reality. Too many people move through life as spectators. They watch others succeed, admire greatness from a distance, and never step into the arena themselves. Why? Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of the unknown. But the greatest failure in life is not falling short. It is never trying at all. In 2026, we live in a world filled with opportunity. Technology has advanced. Barriers have fallen. The playing field has never been more open. But with opportunity comes responsibility, and your first responsibility is to yourself. You owe it to yourself to become the best version of who you can be. Not someday, not next year, right now. Because if you do not invest in yourself, if you do not push yourself to grow and evolve, no one else will. The world does not owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. Now let us talk about personal development. After years of studying successful people, one pattern stands out clearly. They are always learning, always growing, always stretching beyond what they already know. And that is exactly what you must do in 2026. You owe it to yourself to read more meaningful books than ever before. Not mindless entertainment, but books that challenge your thinking, expand your perspective, and raise your standards. If you want to earn more, you must learn more. It really is that simple. But learning alone is not enough. Knowledge without action is like owning a library in the middle of a desert. It looks impressive, but it serves no purpose. You owe it to yourself to take decisive action on what you learn. Here is a powerful truth. The difference between where you are today and where you will be 5 years from now comes down to two things: the books you read and the people you surround yourself with. So in 2026, you owe it to yourself to choose your environment carefully. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. Look around. Are the people in your life lifting you higher or holding you back? Are they builders and believers, or complainers and doubters? You owe it to yourself to choose your associations wisely. And that brings us to goals. In 2026, you owe it to yourself to set goals that truly challenge who you are becoming. You owe it to yourself to set bigger goals than you ever have before. Why? Because the size of your goals determines the size of your growth. Small goals lead to small results. But bold, ambitious goals force you to grow into a different person. They push you to learn new skills, think in new ways, and become someone capable of achieving more than you ever imagined. But here is the truth about goals. They must be specific. Vague goals create vague outcomes. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, say, I want to increase my income by 50% this year. Instead of saying, I want to be in better shape, say, I want to run a marathon by December. Specificity gives your goals power. And once your goals are clear, you owe it to yourself to write them down. Putting pen to paper turns wishes into targets. It makes your goals real, visible, and actionable. Still, setting goals is only the beginning. You owe it to yourself to build a plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish, and wishes do not change lives. Break your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Create a timeline. Set deadlines. And most importantly, hold yourself accountable. Follow through on the promises you make to yourself. Now let us talk about discipline in 2026. You owe it to yourself to become more disciplined than ever before. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It is what gets you moving early in the morning while others are still sleeping. It is what keeps you going when motivation fades. Motivation feels good, but it does not last. Discipline does. It shows up every day and gets the work done. So how do you build discipline? It starts with small daily habits. Choose actions that support your goals. Maybe it means waking up an hour earlier to work on your vision. Maybe it means dedicating 30 minutes a day to learning a new skill. Whatever it is, make it non-negotiable. Do it even when you do not feel like it, especially when you do not feel like it. Success is built on a few simple disciplines practiced daily, just as failure is built on small mistakes repeated over time. The little things truly make the biggest difference. And this leads us to mindset. In 2026, you owe it to yourself to develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. It is the foundation that allows everything else to grow. You owe it to yourself to embrace dedication and hard work. This is the heart of a growth mindset. Unlike a fixed mindset that assumes talent is set in stone, a growth mindset sees ability as something you build. With this mindset, challenges become opportunities, failures become lessons, and criticism becomes useful feedback. That is the mindset required to succeed in a fast-changing world. You owe it to yourself to welcome challenges rather than avoid them. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in difficulty. And when setbacks appear, because they will, you owe it to yourself to persist. Get back up. Try again. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is simple. They did not quit. Now let us talk about time in 2026. You owe it to yourself to become a master of your time. Time is the great equalizer. We all have the same 24 hours. What separates people is how those hours are used. Most people spend their days reacting to other people's priorities. They let distractions steal their focus, then wonder where the day went. But not you. Not in 2026. This year, you owe it to yourself to take control. Identify the few tasks that truly move your goals forward. Schedule time for them the way you would schedule an important meeting. And here is a simple but powerful rule. Do your most important task first thing in the morning. Willpower fades as the day goes on, so use your sharpest focus on what matters most. Now let us talk about health in 2026. You owe it to yourself to prioritize your health more than ever before. Health is not a side issue. It is the foundation of everything else. Success means little if you do not have the energy to enjoy it. Money means nothing if your body cannot keep up. You owe it to yourself to take care of your body. Eat well. Move regularly. Get enough sleep. These are not luxuries. They are necessities. They are investments in your most valuable asset, you. And do not overlook mental health. You owe it to yourself to manage stress, to slow down when needed, and to allow time for recovery. A burned-out version of you cannot build the life you want. Now let us turn to relationships in 2026. You owe it to yourself to be intentional about the people you allow into your life. You owe it to yourself to nurture your relationships, because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. True fulfillment comes from connection, with family, with friends, and with community. At the end of our lives, we will not be counting money or awards. We will be counting moments, the conversations, the laughter, and the memories shared with the people we love. That is why you owe it to yourself to invest in those relationships. Make time for the people who matter. Be present when you are with them. Listen more than you speak. Show appreciation and express gratitude. These small acts of kindness may seem simple, but over time they compound, creating strong relationships that support you through every season of life. And it is not only about personal relationships. In 2026, you owe it to yourself to build a strong professional network. Your network truly is your net worth. The relationships you build can open doors that effort alone cannot. Attend industry events. Join professional groups. Reach out to people you admire. Offer value before you ask for anything in return. Remember, networking is not about collecting contacts. It is about building genuine relationships based on trust and shared respect. Now let us talk about financial health in 2026. You owe it to yourself to take control of your finances. Financial freedom is not about being wealthy. It is about having choices. It is about making decisions based on what is right for you, not just what pays the bills. That means becoming financially literate. Learn how money works. Understand investing. Create a budget and follow it. Live below your means and save the difference. It is not about how much you earn. It is about how much you keep. And here is a simple habit that changes everything. Pay yourself first. Before bills, before spending, set aside something for your future self. Even a small amount grows over time. Compound interest will work for you, but only if you begin. Now let us talk about purpose in 2026. You owe it to yourself to discover and pursue your purpose. A life without purpose is like a journey without direction. You may be moving, but you are not truly progressing. Your purpose is what pulls you out of bed each morning. It is what you would do even without a paycheck. It is what absorbs you so completely that time seems to disappear. And when your actions align with your purpose, work no longer feels like work. It feels meaningful. It feels like contribution. It feels like you are part of something bigger than yourself. Your purpose is always bigger than yourself. So how do you find it? Start by asking a few honest questions. What truly excites you? What are you naturally good at? What does the world need right now? Where those three answers overlap, that is where your purpose lives. And once you discover it, you owe it to yourself to pursue it fully. Do not let fear slow you down. Do not allow doubt to talk you out of it. The world needs what you bring to the table, your talents, your perspective, your contribution. No one else can offer it the way you can. Now let us talk about giving back in 2026. You owe it to yourself to make a difference in the world. Real success is not measured only by what you achieve, but by what you contribute. Each of us has a responsibility to leave the world better than we found it. When you give your time, your skills, or your resources, something powerful happens. You gain perspective. You develop gratitude. You connect to something greater than yourself. Find a cause you care about. Volunteer. Share what you know. You do not need to change the entire world. Start by changing the small part of it that is within your reach. Now let us talk about courage in 2026. You owe it to yourself to be brave, because everything you want sits just beyond fear. Courage does not mean fear disappears. It means you move forward anyway. It means having difficult conversations, taking risks, and stepping into uncertainty even when failure is possible. And yes, sometimes you will fail. You will fall short. You will face obstacles. That is part of the process. Courage is also the decision to stand back up, to try again, and to keep going when it would be easier to quit. A life without risk is a life without growth. A life without challenge is a life without achievement. So in 2026, you owe it to yourself to take bold steps and dare greatly. Now let us talk about continuous improvement in 2026. You owe it to yourself to embrace the principle of small, consistent progress. Success is not a single moment. It is a journey. And on that journey, there is no standing still. You are either moving forward or slowly falling behind. Even small improvements, practiced daily, create extraordinary results over time. So commit to getting a little better every single day. It does not have to be dramatic. Small improvements, applied consistently, create extraordinary results over time. Read a few pages each day. Learn one new word. Add one extra rep to your workout. Make one more sales call. In the moment, these actions feel insignificant, but over time they compound into massive change. That is the beauty of continuous improvement. It builds momentum. As you see yourself improving, your confidence grows, and with confidence comes action. Action fuels progress, and progress reinforces belief. It becomes a powerful cycle that carries you forward. Now let us talk about attitude in 2026. You owe it to yourself to cultivate a positive attitude, because your attitude determines your altitude. It shapes how you experience life and influences the results you create. Life will not always go according to plan. You will face challenges and setbacks. What matters is not what happens to you, but how you respond. Your attitude becomes the filter through which every situation passes. A positive attitude does not mean denying problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means meeting challenges with determination and optimism. It means looking for opportunity instead of excuses. You may not control every circumstance, but you always control your response, and that response often matters more than anything else. Now let us talk about focus in 2026. You owe it to yourself to develop laser-sharp focus. Where your focus goes, your energy follows. In a world overflowing with distractions, the ability to focus has become rare and incredibly valuable. Success is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things exceptionally well. It requires identifying your true priorities and eliminating what does not matter. It means saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. Get clear on what truly moves the needle in your life, then commit to it fully. Remove distractions. Protect your attention. And here is a powerful practice. Single task. Give one task your full presence. You will not only get more done, but the quality of your work will rise dramatically. Resilience in 2026 matters more than ever. You owe it to yourself to build unshakable resilience, because life is full of ups and downs. Success is never a straight line. It is a journey of peaks and valleys, and resilience is what carries you through the valleys and helps you rise again. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after setbacks. It is the inner strength that keeps you moving forward when things get hard. It is the quiet grit that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up halfway. So how do you build resilience? It begins with your mindset. Learn to see challenges as opportunities to grow. View failure as feedback, not defeat. Choose optimism, even in difficult moments. But resilience is not just positive thinking. It also means taking care of yourself. It means building strong support systems and developing healthy ways to cope with stress. Maybe it is meditation. Maybe it is exercise. Maybe it is journaling or time alone to reflect. Find what works for you and practice it consistently. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It is about becoming stronger because of it. And as you face bigger goals in 2026, resilience will become one of your greatest assets. Now let us talk about authenticity in 2026. You owe it to yourself to be authentically you. In a world that constantly pressures you to fit in and conform, being true to yourself is an act of courage. It is also the path to real fulfillment and lasting success. There is only one you. Your talents, experiences, and perspectives are unique, and the world needs them. Do not rob the world by trying to be someone you are not. Authenticity means being honest with yourself and others. It means aligning your actions with your values. It means standing for what you believe in, even when it is unpopular. It means embracing your imperfections, because they are part of what makes you real. When you live authentically, you attract the right people and opportunities. You build deeper relationships. You find work and purpose that truly resonate with who you are. You create a life that feels meaningful and true. So in 2026, give yourself permission to be fully, unapologetically you. Share your real thoughts. Pursue what genuinely excites you. Express your creativity without fear. The world does not need another copy. It needs you. In conclusion, 2026 is your time. It is your opportunity to grow, to rise, and to become the person you have always known you could be. You owe it to yourself to dream big, to work hard, and to persist when challenges appear. You owe it to yourself to live with purpose, to make a difference, and to leave something meaningful behind. Remember, success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you become. So invest in your growth, nurture your relationships, protect your health, pursue your passions, live with integrity, give back, and above all, believe in yourself. I wish you strong health, lasting happiness, and a fulfilling journey ahead. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Mindset Daily, for more inspiration and motivation every day.